Good afternoon. My name is Jeffrey Putman, and I am the Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our 25th annual White Coat Ceremony, which is sponsored by the College of Medicine and the Alumni Association of the College of Medicine. I would like to take this opportunity to thank one of our alumni, Dr. James Ferguson, and his wife, Mrs. Irene Ferguson, and the entire Alumni Association of the College of Medicine for their generous donation in support of this important event. The White Coat Ceremony is a relatively recent innovation. Dr. Arnold Gold, a neurologist on the faculty of the Columbia University's College of Physicians and Surgeons, started the White Coat Ceremony tradition in 1994. Dr. Gold thought that the Hippocratic Oath should be taken on the first day of medical school as well as the last. He was concerned that physicians were becoming more enamored with the technological aspects of medicine rather than listening to and caring for their patients. He felt that the Hippocratic Oath should be taken by entering medical students to publicly commit at the outset of their careers to the kind of physician they will become. The Gold Foundation then expanded their sponsorship of the White Coat Ceremony to 7 medical schools, including SUNY Downstate. The Gold Foundation reports that the White Coat Ceremony takes place at over 97% of the AAMC accredited schools of medicine in the United States and Canada, as well as at osteopathic schools of medicine and at schools in 13 other countries. I would like to recognize Dr. Elizabeth Cleek, Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of the Arnold P. Gold Foundation, who is with us today. In addition, our own president, Dr. Wayne J. Riley, is a trustee of the Gold Foundation. We are grateful and honored to have been one of the earliest institutions to partner with the Gold Foundation on White Coat ceremonies. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Michael Lucchese, Interim Dean of the College of Medicine.
Wow, what a gorgeous looking students we have here. Welcome. Good afternoon and welcome members of the class of 2023. Your families, significant others, friends, Downstate administration, faculty, staff, welcome to the White Coat Ceremony. You're entering our College of Medicine at a time of great change, when the future of healthcare in our nation is the subject of much debate. In addition, you can look forward to an era of extraordinary and exciting medical discoveries and technological advances. There have been more scientific and technological advances in the past 50 years than in the entire history of the world. These advances will greatly enhance your ability to alleviate human suffering, but at the same time, you could expect to encounter a host of new medical and ethical dilemmas. Our faculty will do our best to prepare you to meet those challenges. We have a long tradition of training physicians who are skilled in treating not just the disease of the body, but also the humanity of the person. For this reason, we celebrate the start of your medical education and career by giving you a white coat, one of the symbols of a physician's compassionate care. It is a profound truism that the best patient care is caring about the patient. The best patient care is caring about the patient. The white coat is also a way of us to welcome you as junior members of our profession. This year we are honored that our white coat speaker is Dr. Maurice Selby. Dr. Selby is a member of the SUNY Downstate College of Medicine class of 2014. Was born in Queens and was raised throughout New York City and stayed here, so he's a local. That's great. A product of New York City public schools, prior to Downstate, Dr. Selby attended the City College of New York, where he earned a Bachelor of Arts in English Literature. While at Downstate, he earned numerous awards, including the Dean's Outstanding Student Award, a Global Healthcare Fellowship Scholarship, and induction into the Gold Humanism Honor Society. Dr. Selby completed his emergency medicine residency program here at SUNY Downstate in 2018. After serving as our chief resident and received the award for outstanding performance as a resident from the Department of Emergency Medicine. Dr. Selby also served as Kings County Hospital's delegate to the Committee of Interns and Residents, where he advocated for labor rights for resident physicians and for quality patient care. Today, Dr. Selby works for Progressive Emergency Physicians and is currently credentialed and working clinically at St. Joseph's Hospital in Bethpage, Long Island, and Mercy Medical Center in Rockville Center. He actually worked a shift yesterday evening, so that's how cool he is. We congratulate you, Dr. Selby, on your outstanding achievements and believe that your stellar career and words of advice will inspire our audience and especially the class of 2023. On a personal note, it was my privilege to serve as Dr. Selby's chairman while he was a resident in the Department of Emergency Medicine here at SUNY Downstate. I know him as an excellent physician, and I know him as an outstanding person. I challenge you all to be the kind of doctor that Dr. Selby is, but I also want you to be the kind of person that Maurice Selby is. Please join me in welcoming Maurice Selby, our white coat speaker.
All right. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to SUNY Downstate. I want to say it's my absolute pleasure to be here with you all for such a momentous occasion. And I want to thank the administration and the faculty for allowing me this privilege to address the class of 2023, which I actually just found is the largest, 210 students, correct? The largest class in the country. Yeah, right? Amazing, amazing. So let's give a round of applause. Okay. Now, we won't talk about the greatest class, though, in the history of SUNY Downstate. That is class of 2014. But that's another discussion. No, all right. So we're going to move on. This is a celebratory occasion, okay? And I want to congratulate you, the class of 2023, for your tremendous achievements. You all have triumphed, and it is with a profound sense of joy that I will proclaim that you're going to continue to triumph. You're going to continue to be victorious. Some of you will take care of our future, the children of this country, and deliver the vital care that they need to grow up prosperous and healthy. Others will be distinguished educators and researchers. And someone might create an application that we can use at the bedside to aid in patient care. There are leaders in here that will create and maintain high quality and sustainable health systems, and I would not be surprised if we have a future Nobel laureate in our midst here today. And also, I'm pretty sure we have some future pit docs out there, the front line, anytime, anywhere, anything, emergency medicine doctors, where are you? I know you're out there, come on. All right, I gotta do some work with this class though. We're gonna recruit you guys. Hopefully we get the entire class, but I'm declaring it now, right? That you guys are gonna be awesome, and we're here to celebrate your achievements. We're here to welcome you to the family here at SUNY Downstate, and to welcome you to Central Brooklyn. And I can tell you that the patients can't wait to meet you, and we need you here, okay? And also, I wanna welcome you to the profession of medicine, and also celebrate your commitment to a life of service. Now, this is, who's excited right now? All right, good. That's exactly the response I wanted, perfect. And so this is an amazing time. As Dr. Lucchese said, an amazing time to be a physician. There are so many amazing things that are happening, and there's so many things that we can do for our patients. We can actually start extracorporeal membrane oxygenation in the emergency department. We have endovascular therapies for large vessel strokes. We can assist patients with very weak hearts, right? We have left ventricular assist devices that we can implant and churn blood through the sickest of hearts out there. We have advances in cognitive behavioral therapy to help individuals thrive in the face of mental illness. Advances in prosthetic limbs that in the past, individuals with certain injuries and impairments were incapacitated, and now they can live happy, healthy, prosperous lives. We can do so much, but yet, when it actually comes to taking care of patients, in many ways, we're actually failing. With all the new gadgets, sophisticated electronic medical records, patient portals, health apps, there is still a disconnect. And so today, we're actually here to take an oath. It is an oath that, while varied from its original text written 2,500 years ago, it still holds the core value of practicing in the best interests of patients and doing so in confidence. It is essentially the foundation of humanistic medicine. And we must understand our patients, we must know them, we must know their names, and ultimately we must connect with them. And by embracing this oath, we undoubtedly must commit to the tenets of humanistic medicine, as laid out by the Arnold Gold Foundation. And the attributes of humanistic healthcare are the following: integrity, the congruence between expressed values and behavior, excellence in our clinical expertise, collaboration and compassion, being aware and acknowledging the suffering of others and wanting to do something about it, right? Having a desire to relieve that suffering. Altruism and the capacity to put the needs and interests of others ahead of your own. Respect and resilience and regard for autonomy and values of another person. Empathy and the ability to put oneself in another person's situation. And finally, service, the sharing of one's talent, time, and resources with those in need, and giving beyond what is required. Now, why should we do all of this? Because the data clearly shows that when our patients trust us, when they feel that we are being empathetic and convinced that we understand their deepest concerns and deepest worries, and that we're acting in their best interests, giving above and beyond, they actually do better. They're more compliant. Your recommendations are more likely to be heeded. Patients live longer, and they will come back to you. Right? Is that not what got you on this journey in the first place? At some point, you envisioned yourself at someone's bedside, introducing yourself as their doctor, and them welcoming and entrusting their lives, hopes, and dreams to you. Many of you dreamed of this, and now you are on the cusp of bringing that dream to fruition. Okay, and if that's not enough to convince you, let's talk about job security. So entrepreneur and presidential candidate Andrew Yang is out there saying that him and his Silicon Valley cronies are coming for American jobs, and I'm pretty sure they have plans for automating healthcare services. Now, do you really think a machine can perform better than you? That's a challenge. No. So basically, I was trying to find an analogy sort of to frame this discussion. And I was thinking, I said, what if we had, let's say the cable guy was a machine? But then I was like, that doesn't quite work because they kind of are. I don't know if you ever tried to like small talk with your cable guy, but they mean business, right? They're in there, they do their thing, and they get out. But I said, man, what if my cable guy said to me, like, yo, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry you missed Arya avenging her family's death. And as you can see, I really didn't watch Game of Thrones like that. But yeah, imagine if he was empathetic like that, right? It would mean so much more. But yeah, it's not like that, unfortunately. And so, with that said, I'm up to that challenge, right? No one, I'm a Giants fan, okay? New York Giants, New York football Giants. All right, there we go, good, excellent. Excellent, I love this class, this is great. So I'm a Giants fan, and the old school Giants fan, not since the last 2 Super Bowls where we knocked out the Patriots, right? I'm talking about the mid-90s when Dave Brown was the starting quarterback, no offense to him. Rodney Hampton was our star running back, but we were consistently under 500 every season, no playoff berths. It was a tough time as a Giants fan. So when I see a Giants fan walk into my emergency department, that's my person, right? I take care of all my patients, but that person, I'm gonna take care of that person. And just recently, I had a guy come in, epistaxis, he's a little frustrated, nose is leaking in front of everybody. We had him in the hallway, unfortunately, which we try our very best not to, but sometimes it comes to that in the ER. And nose is pouring blood, and we gave him some gauze to temporize him until we get to him. And finally, I get there. I see the blood on his shirts, New York Giants. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. So I go and start to talk to this gentleman. He's frustrated, but then I tell him, like, man, I'm a Giants fan too. And then he's like, oh, well, yeah, I was watching training camp, and this was the first day of training camp, right, for the upcoming preseason. And I tell him, like, look, dude, I got to get you out of here so you can go and do your scouting and get ready for the season. And, start asking them the personal questions we asked. Did you pick your nose, right? That's the most common cause, by the way. Digital trauma. Do you pick your nose? Nah, it wasn't that. Okay, nah, it just started leaking. Oh, he's on blood thinners. Okay, any drug use, cocaine, and all these things? No, because that can cause complications similarly. But anyway, long story short, we had a bond, right? That was my patient. I understood his concerns. He was amenable to my therapies, put in these sort of jerry-rigged tongue depressors to compress his nose and stop that bleeding. And he did well. And he was actually pretty pleased after that visit because we had that connection. So that's just one story, but no. Can machines do that? No, right? No machine can replace us being there for the family of a dying loved one as they say their last goodbyes. No machine can tell a concerned first-time parent, I know how you feel, right? When their infant comes in with transient irregular respirations. It happened to me, actually, with my daughter, where I was freaking out. She was fine. Or if your infant has a fever, right? It's very difficult to deal with those situations. No machine can do that. This is scary, right? You have to counsel and educate that parent and applaud them, say, thank you for bringing your child here so that we can make sure everything is okay. And that takes finesse and tact that we cannot program a machine to do. Our patients come to us as human beings, looking not for just diagnoses, not just to be told that their vital signs are normal, not just to be told your loved one is dying or dead, and then we walk out of the room. They come to us because we are human, and they want to be heard. They want to be comforted. They want to be reassured. And you cannot reassure a person without being empathetic to their concerns and their worries. You cannot counsel a patient when you rush to judge them, right, because they didn't vaccinate their child. They're not going to be receptive to anything that you have to say. And so essentially, we have to connect with our patients. And so who here is ready to take the oath? Raise your hand. Everybody. Good. Excellent. Me too, actually, because I'm going to recommit with you guys, right? And so I'm glad to see that, and that's great. But I want you to know what we're getting into, right, in doing this together. I have to tell you that it's not easy, and there will be times when you're hungry. You're going to be tired, might be frustrated, even angry, right? You're human. Remember, you are a human being. Your bladder might be full. You might not have had a bowel movement in a while. Maybe you just want some Skittles. That was me the other day. I was like, I had a taste with Skittles. However, when you put on that white coat or that ID badge with your name followed by MD, the expectation is always going to be the same. And that's that you're there for your patients and that you're going to provide compassionate and quality care to the absolute best of your ability every single time. Never fail. And it takes energy, it takes time, it takes total commitment, and our patients will not always be pleasant. In fact, some might be very difficult. Some won't listen to your recommendations. There are those that will never be happy with anything that you do for them. And your patients won't always look like you. They often won't have the same level of education, and they might even observe different faiths. And some will just be plain mean. I had one gentleman, despite the laws of syntax, right? I was an English major, so he actually managed to use an expletive as a noun, verb, and an adjective in one sentence. And I understood what he meant. It's very clear, and I was impressed. But in the ED, right, you can usually hear these folks coming from the triage bay before they even make it back there. Sometimes they're accompanied by police, maybe in handcuffs. They sort of make themselves very well known, their presence in the department. And it's tempting to just write them off, right? You'll have your colleagues sometimes, and they don't mean anything by this, but saying, Doc, you got to get this person out of here. Get them admitted, get them discharged, they got to go. Or you have to sedate them, put them down, whatever, they have to go. And unfortunately, it's not that easy, because these folks are probably the folks that need more compassion and more attention than anyone else. They are often the patients that need an advocate. And it's probably going to fall on myself or you to get that done. It's not the easy path, but in terms of the oath we're about to take, we must do it for them. And basically, there's a patient that I had. This was as an intern, gentleman that came in. Similar story, pretty agitated, sweating profusely. Long story short, he was withdrawing from alcohol. And we got him under control, and he actually wanted to leave, right? We were talking about admitting him, getting him the therapy that he needed, and he wanted to get out of the department. Went back and forth for a long time, had to call a psychiatric consult to come and evaluate him to see if he had capacity to make that decision, and it was deemed that he did. And ultimately, we discharged him. But prior to him being discharged, I actually had a conversation with him. And we had probably about 5 to 10 minutes going back and forth, talking, and that was it. He left, and about 3 years later, I was walking between the C and D buildings, which you'll become very well acquainted. A lot of traffic through that hallway, that corridor at Kings County, just across the street. And I actually ran into him, and I didn't recognize him at all, but he stopped me in the hallway and said, hey, Doc, you remember me? No, I do not. But he told me, he reminded me of that situation. I was like, yes, I do remember you. And by that point, he'd actually cleaned up. He completely detoxed, was doing much better, employed, no longer imbibing. And he attributed it to that conversation that we had just before he was discharged that day. And so, oh, thanks. And so that was an investment in time and energy, right? We wanted to get rid of him. We had other patients to take care of, other things going on, but he needed that time. And that's why we have to do that as best we can for all of our patients. Now, I say all of this not to discourage you, but to convince you that we must be deliberate as we take this oath. We must be deliberate in championing the ideals of humanistic medicine. You will all be successful in this in the same persistence and hard work that allowed you to master organic chemistry and physics, the same energy and passion with which you volunteered and conducted research, the same dedication that got you through the MCAT and your interviews and sitting in these seats today, right? All of that applies wholeheartedly to humanistically caring for your patients. And while the challenges that lie ahead might be certainly greater, I can guarantee they are, but you are no less capable, all right? And I'm absolutely certain that you will succeed. And as I said earlier, you're already victorious by being here and being present today. Now, really quick, I would be remiss if I did not inform you that this is not a one-way street. Believe it or not, it's not all about the patients. And I would petition to have another sentence added to the Hippocratic Oath, and that's physician heal each other. Acknowledging how important all of our colleagues are is so important. And I'm talking about everybody on a team, your nurses, your techs, your clerks that register your patients and make the appointments for patients to be seen, the custodial staff, right, that ensure that we have tidy rooms and clinical spaces that are crucial to taking care of people. Everybody is important, and we must treat each other with respect. At work, I always say teamwork makes the dream work. Corniest thing on the planet, but it's one of the truisms that I live by every day. Physician burnout is frighteningly real, and that's why we have to be there to support each other, right? We have to lean on each other, listen to each other when we're having difficulty, look for signs that we're going through some trouble, and sometimes take that time and pull each other aside to strengthen one another, right? I shouldn't see any one of you walking down the street and say, oh goodness, that's that person from Downstate, that stressful place where I work. It's stressful, but when I see you on the street, I'm gonna embrace you, okay? Because we're all in this together, and we must look out for each other. And with that said, I'm just gonna give you some quick tips so that we can maintain a nice, strong career as humanistic physicians. This is actually from a 2014 study published in Academic Medicine by Carol M. Chow and colleagues. And basically what they did is they looked at attendings that demonstrated humanistic ideals and were rated very highly by residents as representing that. And they gave some tips on things that these individuals did to be humanistic in medicine. And basically approaching patients with humility and curiosity, so learning their names, learning about their lives, learning who they are and what drives them, taking care of both the medical issues for patients and also their life struggles, maintaining ongoing and active self-reflection. So every day, asking yourself why you're doing this, right? How you're doing in taking care of your patients. What can we do to be more compassionate in taking care of people? And then finally, being in a teaching role where learners can stimulate and uphold the standard of humanism. Practicing mindfulness and other spiritual endeavors, seeking a connection with patients. And it's not just beneficial for the patients, but beneficial for us too, because there's research showing that this helps us prevent burnout. And then finally, achieving balance. Work-life balance, work-work balance, trying to find other ways that you can support your institution, whether it be quality improvement councils, education, research, and so on. And so in closing, I want to say that we are providers and protectors of the hopes and dreams of others, and we are the guardians of trust in the profession of medicine. And as Maya Angelou said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And thank you very much. Congratulations, and welcome to the family.
Thank you again, Dr. Selby. And now, I am delighted to present to you the class of 2023. Will the following faculty members please come forward and take your places? Sophie Cristoforo, Associate Dean for Student and Curricular Affairs, will read the names of the members of the class of 2023. Dr. Ricardo Bianchi, Associate Dean for Foundations of Medicine, will assist with directing students to the stage to obtain their white coats. Dr. Robin Ovich, Associate Dean for Clinical Competencies, and Dr. Andrew Adler, Associate Director for Clinical Competencies, will assist the members of the class with their white coats.
When I call your name, please come forward to receive your white coat. Christina Williams Agudelo. Basam Ahmad. Mayisha Ahmed. Saad Ahmed. Karillos Aknuke. Juhair Ulam. Sadia Alam. Tambrez Alam. George Albert. Lina Alhanshali. Jeremy Althouse. Sharisti Amaranani. Jonathan Amaro Barron. Brandon Amirian. I'm sorry. Ju Young An. Kevin Anderson. Januth Ara. Ron Bazoff. Moishi Bedelman. Naeem Baksh. Mitchell Bain. Matthew Becker. Colleen Beckford. Alexandra Belzy. Nicole Bogdan. Weston Buring. Joshua Rory Buxbaum. Stephanie Cardona. Giovanna Marcela Castillo. Lan Yin Chan. Kevin William Chow. Sonia Shamuni Bach. Kenny Chen. Shannon Chen. Isabella Kiriko. Claire Sionha Choi. Mariam Havis Chowdhury. Saidul Hassan Chowdhury. Nafisa Chowdhury. Gianna Cerrone. Nicholas Cerrone. Caitlin Nicole Cunningham. Madeline D'Agostino. Nita D'Souza. Shreya Auntha Vesikan. Vincent DeVito. Shivali Devjane. Marco Diaz Cordova. Michael Derringer. Benjamin Druckmann. Owen Edwards. Joanna Eichler. Alana Engelbrecht. Jose Eraso Paz. Gabrielle Marie Esteves Inoa. Hannah Every. Alexandra Feathers. Rafael Fernandez. Shannon Frank. Lucas Garcia. Kira Gassman. Blake Gershon. Kimanthi Jacoby. Isabella Junta. Frada Ethel Gold. Michael Goldberg. Antia Gomez. Fred Gong. Jigger Govind. Alexandra Greenberg. Sierra Marie Grigsby. Lauren Brooke Gruffy. Sharon Guzman. Bana Hadid. Lindsay Hafner. Stefan Hamaway. Hajaru Hamza. Ryan Harrington. Nozomi Harris Koizumi. Maria Hathaway. Cassandra Heaney. Hindi Herbst. Allison Hernandez. Elver Ho. Sharif Hossein. Matthias Akaza. Rosaline Idoko. Alexander Imus. Albina Islam. Karen Izquierdo. Marlo Jacobson. Namisha Jan. Carre Olivier June. Talia Jubas. Gabriel Cabariti. Nicole Casarla. Wow. Farhan Ishraq Kashem. Perry Kerner. Nabil Khan. Michelle Key. Mohammed Kibria. Ethan Kidda. Julianne Kleitch. Andre Cobran. Mina Katsi. Arif Kaja. Ryan Kong. Christopher Kotsis. I know. Patrick Kasimakar Kasai. Aaron Kwan. Nina Kumar. Hyukjin Daniel Kwan. Lawrence Michael Langen. Jessica Lenskowski. Shu Han Lee. Shou John Lee. Tai Lai Lee. Erica LaCarrie. Anna Lynn. Isaac Lipsky. Kamen Low. Deepti Mahajan. Ryan Martyr. Andrea Martinez. Marzouk Masoub. Joel Matthew. Joseph Mayer. Matthew Marola. Jessica Mineroff. Shannon Catherine Moran. Mark Muscatelli. Jack Nasser. Electra Nassis. Kevin Nicholas. Raymond Noonan. Michelle Intieri. Megan O'Keefe. Ariana Share Otto. Linda Pack. Ethan Palomaro. Noah Panich. Sahil Parikh. Rathika Patel. Andrew Patera. Justine Powlick. Andrew Perazzo. Anamta Rahil. Alexandros Prokipiou. Paolo Reese. Jacob Robinson. Charlotte Ruby. Sana Shajad. Monica Saw Ung. Molly Schneider. Moshe Schneiderman. Lisa Scott. Frank Segreto. Tuba Shafiq. Anika Shah. Gavriel Shimarov. Menachem Shimanov. Jay Woo Shin. Omar Sadiq. Saim Siddiqui. Kathleen Simmons. Latia Skirving. Heidi Sosa. Hadassah Stein. Laura Stoyanova. Nicholas Sullivan. Mohammed Sila. Joanna Tabor. Sania Tahir. Nicholas Tan. Bertalia Tavares. Gardenia Taza. Adira Teitelbaum. Asriel Teitelbaum. Taguru Tempo. Jason Trong. Galina Udad. Dove Vox. Athena Vallejo. Alejandro Vega. Gayatri Venkataraman. Juan Viñabona. Perry Vingan. T. Vo. Andrew Voigt. Lucas Voivodek. Spencer Waldman. Kalita Waterton. Ian Winthrop. Wen Ting Yang. Tatiana Yatsenko. Alice Yao. Johnny Yee. Zachary Ye. Esther Yu. Katerzina Zaniewska.
It is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Pamela Sass, Vice Dean for Education, who will administer the Hippocratic Oath.
Will the members of the class of 2023 please rise? Will any physician members of the audience who wish to renew their Hippocratic Oath also rise? Please raise your right hand and recite the words of the Hippocratic Oath with me. The Hippocratic Oath is printed in your program. I do solemnly swear by that which I hold most sacred, that I will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to its members, that I will lead my life and practice my art in uprightness and honor, that whatever house I shall enter, it shall be for the good of the sick to the utmost of my power, that I will hold myself aloof from wrong, that I will exercise my art solely for the cure of my patients and will give no drug and perform no operation for a wrongful purpose, that whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of men and women that should not be spoken, I will keep secret. These I do promise, and in proportion as I am faithful to this, my oath, may happiness and good repute be ever mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the class of 2023. This concludes our 25th annual White Coat Ceremony. Please join us for a reception directly outside immediately following. Will the members of the audience please remain in their seats while the class of 2023 exits first, followed by the audience. Thank you.